Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I want to talk a little bit about fake positivity. Now, since we're talking about being fake and positivity, we're going to start with what is fake positivity as I light this and cleanse this space that I'm in right now. Because I don't know, I just felt like it was necessary to do today, this morning that I'm filming this. It just felt right. Ooh, I love the smell so much. Anyway, fake positivity. So, what is fake positivity? I think we probably all know what fake positivity is. It's basically inauthentic. It's someone who is constantly, for lack of better words, with the good vibes. Oh, I don't want any negativity around me. Blah blah blah. Is those types of folk when the reality of it is they're the most toxic people that they know, and typically anything that they don't like that is pointing that out, they will call that being negative. So basically, if you have a problem with them, they call that being, negative. So that's what I mean by fake positivity. That's like on an individual level. Then you have the other types. These are the types who actually have some sort of platform. And my favorite ones, the younger folks say this all the time. Well, I say younger folk like I'm so old, but anyway, younger people I notice say this, and they say, "Oh, so unbothered. Oh, she's so unbothered." So being unbothered is also aligned with being positive because you don't let anything get to you, so you're just so unbothered. Okay, you can't go through life being unbothered. In order for change to, in most cases, happen, there usually is a need as something arises, you feel uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be drastic, but usually there's some uncomfortable, bothersome emotion or feeling that will eventually require you to do something about it, hence change. So, this concept of always being unbothered because she's just so positive or he's so positive, it's fake. No one is like that all the time. And nor should we be trying to aspire to be that. Take it a step further, the movement, I think there's an overall fake positivity movement, and part of it has to do with like buying merchandise, buying, candles and buying crystals, and people are taking bits and pieces from parts of spiritual systems for the idea that, that's the positivity part where they want to talk about your throat chakra and they want to talk about all this other stuff. And um, you know, uh, like I mentioned, the crystals as well. There's a lot in that movement of crystals and healing positive energy and all that. And I don't think these necessarily are bad or wrong or that they're not true. Um, I think for me, the biggest issue is that it's not real. It's not real. It's not really grounded in anything firm. So if I am struggling with toxic people or toxic traits within myself, if I'm coming at this from an approach of, oh, I just carry this crystal and, I'm aware of my throat chakra. I don't know anything else about chakras, but I know that because somebody, I saw a meme or I heard somebody talk about it. And if I am only, positive vibes only, I'm wearing a shirt, I'm thinking of positive vibes only, that then I'm positive, and it's all fake. And what we deem as negative says a lot about, well, our way of thinking, our outlook, especially when you talk about spirituality. So, what's negative? Okay. Um, the real negative. The real negative is, yes, it's not fun. People may be speaking about you in a critical manner, not for your benefit, and they're doing it behind your back, but you find out. Yeah, I know a lot of people, whether it's in families, whether it's friends, whether it's in work situations, you might be dealing with that. That's hurtful. Um, yes, I guess it falls under the they're being, they're sharing negative energy, the people who are maybe talking about you, and it's going to make you feel some kind of way. So the approach of, oh, well, I'll rise above it, I'm too positive, I can't let them get me down, that sounds great, but honestly, I've been in a situation, it rings hollow when you're really trying to navigate this type of thing. First and foremost, I think if the person going through it, have to acknowledge this sucks, it's not fair, and it's hurtful. Is there any validity or truth in even what these people are saying? Nobody asked that question. Sometimes, sometimes if you are getting talked about, and they may not, the people talking about you may not be doing it the right way, that's sharing negative energy. But what they might be saying might, it might be some validity to it. Do you have an attitude problem? Are you untrustworthy? Do you really have an issue? A lot of times people don't want to talk about that sort of stuff, but that would require something more than what the fake positivity movement is pushing. That would require introspection. That would require shadow work. That would require therapy for some people, but it will require going in and admitting what's going on with you. And that doesn't mean look for all the bad stuff. It means what is going on with you. There's a reason you're sensitive to them talking about you. Believe it or not, there are people who, if people say things about them and they don't agree with it and they don't believe it's true, it doesn't matter what the situation is, whether it really is true or not. If they don't believe it to be true and they hear those people, there are people who actually train themselves and their emotions to be like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do to change that. Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm just going to keep going. We have a whole community of people who basically have told us this is what they have no choice but to do. Have you talked to anybody in the LGBTQ groups, wherever they may fall? Not all, because we know, unfortunately, I could go a different direction, but a good amount that you talk to, the longer they're on this earth, yeah, they have to develop a sense of, it doesn't really matter what, even a person that I love and that's supposed to be looking out for me, it's supposed to be helping me, even if they're the ones partaking in the negative energy, then yeah, they still find a way to just live life anyway. It stings. It hurts. It's not cool, but they'll acknowledge that and they're going to just keep going on their path. They're not going to change who they are. To me, that's authentic. It's an acknowledgement. Yeah, this hurts. It sucks that people that I thought would care about me speak so negatively about me and my lifestyle choices just because they don't agree with me. I don't like that they do that. That's not nice. That's a fair thing to say. I think where it goes wrong is when I hear people say, well, I just rise above it, no negative vibes, positive energy. That your life, it doesn't work that way. It's not positive all the time. I don't want to say you can't manifest positivity, you can, but you're not, just because you're manifesting more positive things, people, experiences, energy into your life, or you're creating it yourself, doesn't mean that you won't ever have to deal with anything deemed negative. And I really worry about the witches coming up, because there's this idea, I think, that you think that it just goes like this in a straight line, and if you're doing magic right, you shouldn't have any hiccups, and everything should be positive. Your life is so much better, and I think life is good. I woke up this morning feeling great, feeling very grateful. I was in a place of extreme gratitude when I woke up. I talked to my mom this morning. I was telling her about this conversation, the same conversation. I said I woke up and I just walked. I literally looked down at the floor. I was like, dang, I love these floors. I always wanted floors like this, and I have them. I look over at my big patio window off my bedroom. I was like, I always wanted that, and look, I have it. Like, I was just sitting up here just like really thinking that these are my thoughts when I first woke up this morning. And, it's interesting to me that, first of all, this is intentional because I make myself do this. It's part of a greater thing that I'm working on with myself. So this is intentional that I am, having this speaking gratitude, whether it's just in my head or sometimes even out loud when I rise. I think it's important. It sets the tone for the rest of the day. And why should you not be in a place of gratitude? If you're in a place of gratitude, more things come to you. Notice I didn't say positive. Yes, I'm positive, but yes, there are negative experiences that will come to me, even in all this place of gratitude. Things I might deem or someone else deem negative. Do you know why? Because that's how you get growth. That's how sometimes there's going to be pressure. I don't like that part either. I'd like everything to go smooth. I really don't want any hiccups in my plans either. If I set a goal and I'm working on it, I don't really want too many detours. I just want a straight line, just like everybody else. But we know that's not always going to be the case. There are going to be times where it seems so simple, and it really was. You're like, dang, all I needed to do was just do whatever the thing is. and it got done. There are going to be times where it does not go smooth, and it should. You're like, well, prime example, you went to college. You went to a decent college, you did well, you graduated, but you can't find a job that pays you well enough to even pay back the student loans that you have. That was a great plan. You did everything that you had assumed would be the right way. You maybe confided and had people, mentors, and they put you on a path. And it worked for seemed like it was a straight line for everybody else, but you can't seem to find a job. At least one that, is anywhere comparable to what you thought you would be getting paid with that degree, even after research, studying, talking to people, people hooking you up with an interview, and you still can't seem to get anywhere. That's a straight plan. You did magic, you did this, you did that, you consulted, you got a reading, it was in your path, blah, blah, blah. But why can't, you're still kind of feel like in this limbo place where you're still stuck. There's a lot of times goals and dreams feel like they got derailed, and we might consider, oh, well, that's negativity. The reality of it is you have to look at it like, what is this, what am I supposed to be learning in this experience, as opposed to no negative vibes, something negative, somebody put a hex on me, a curse on me, I'm breaking a generational curse of not having it. Look, you already broke it, you went to college, calm down. You're not breaking curses right now, you just need to work on you. Start asking the universe, why is this happening? Instead of getting caught up in the positivity of attracting more positivity, why is this happening? There's a reason. I've been in those positions more than once where I have had to ask myself, what am I supposed to be learning from this experience? This is too much. Like, I know I'm supposed to be learning something. Okay, universe, ancestors, spirit, goddess, tell me what you want me to know. I'm one of those, like, okay, let's just get straight. I'm a straight shooter. Let's just get to it. Tell me what I'm supposed to learn so I can begin learning it, so I can get the heck up out of this situation. That's how I think, as opposed to, I just need more positivity in my life. Most likely you do have positivity in your life. Using the example of the college graduate, you graduated college. That's a very positive thing. You apply, you had the forethought to enroll, to plan out your courses, to do everything, and you accomplished it. You did everything. That's very positive, and no one can ever take that from you. That's a big deal. I think we get hung up, like I said. Hopefully, I'm doing a good job of explaining this on this positivity thing, because people get so messed up and turned around. And like I said, I am concerned for those who are coming up. I hate the term baby witches. It's so contrived, because you could be 50 years old and just getting into witchcraft. I'm not gonna call you no baby witch. But people who are just getting started, or people who are just like witchcraft adjacent, maybe they don't call themselves a witch, but they're kind of into the stuff. Yeah, there's a real concern on having the right expectations. At no point, like, there's no straight line. We're taught in school when we were kids that, like history, it was always just on a straight line, and that's not that, just for the purposes of teaching younger folk, we tend to do like a timeline, but that's not how time works. That's not how life works. Everything is just not like, where this happened and then this and then this. That's not necessarily how it goes. Sometimes it's a line, and then, it's not even on the page anymore. It somehow gets back. That's just how things go. You can take a whole detour out of life because of a drug problem. Let's just be honest. Your whole life, when you don't even remember what happened, during those years, or, marriages that were not good for you, or relationships, or taking certain jobs, or, to be honest, if motherhood, if you're somebody who started having kids young and you weren't ready emotionally, financially, and you happen to be doing this by yourself, your whole life just took a different trajectory and is off the map. It's not even on the timeline anymore, because nothing is what you ever thought it was going to be. My point is, in those types of situations, rather than focus on why are so many negative things happening to me, rather than that, think, what is this experience? What is this relationship? What is this journey showing me? What am I to learn from this? What lesson is there for me? Or what do I need to know? Maybe it's not a lesson. Maybe you just need to be woken up about something, which is still technically a lesson, but maybe there's more to it. You need to see more. You need to feel more. Or you need a timeout. You know, it's whatever, it's not ready yet. So this is your detour. This is your time out. You'd have to work with the universe, work with spirit, work with ancestors to get those answers. And yes, I do believe that you will find those answers. I don't believe we're here just hopelessly living life, just going through the motions. I definitely don't believe I'm playing pretend and I'm making all this up. I don't believe that things are just coincidence when things seem to work out the way I plan. I believe that I have divine gifts. I believe that I am powerful. I can speak over my life, and I have goddess power within me. My intuition guides me. I know when to do this, when not to, and I believe I'm a powerful being. And I believe we all really are, but we have to tap into that energy. There's so much more that we have access to, so much that we can do for our own lives. You don't need to really reach out to anybody, and you don't need anybody else to come and save you. Somebody can help guide you and get you on the right path. That's great, but the reality of it is you have to do all the work. And I guess that puts a monkey wrench in the fake positivity movement, because to me, it's just more about wearing a shirt that said good vibes only. Um, it's more, having a crystal in your bra for positivity. It's more about, avoiding anything deemed as dark magic, and, keeping it very light and love. And that's just one aspect of all of it, of just, it's not even just about witchcraft and magic and things like that. In life in general, there is no one way. There is no one, it's a duality, light, dark, and so forth. And one is not bad, one is not good, but there has to be some level of balance. But guess what? Sometimes things, they're not going to be balanced, because the universe is chaotic. I think we kind of have this idea. We look up in the night sky, for instance, and you look and you can see stars, and everything looks pretty still. We're on a planet, and we assume it's still, nothing's happening. When the reality of it is, not only this planet is moving as we're on it, there is chaos all around us. The universe, galaxy, like that is not a peaceful place. If you have, things that are in orbit, they get hit all the time with debris and other things and dust and what have you. There's the temperature, it's ridiculously cold, and it will freeze. So there's a lot happening, but just from your position, your perspective, it doesn't seem so. And I think what I would like to just kind of convey through this video is, remember your perspective, remember where you're standing. That way you can kind of maybe zoom out a little bit and then look at the whole picture, and maybe change out your glasses, or maybe take the glasses off and really look to see what's going on, and really look to see, is this what is this what I want it to be, or is this what it is? Am I coming from a place of victimhood? Am I coming from a place of trauma, leftover trauma, or am I coming from a place of honestly my own toxic negativity beliefs? And that's how I framed my vision. So it doesn't matter what's really happening. I won't focus in on that. I'm only going to see that nothing's moving. And this whole positive, so I'm positive, nothing's happening. When in reality, that's not how any of this works. We are made up of cells. We know this, right? Do you understand? It's solid, and I'm touching it with my hands, it being my hands. They're solid. I'm solid. But really, am I really? Yes, I have mass, right? But they're individual atoms, cells, atoms, all that sort of stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're moving, they're vibrating. That's why when people say, oh, there's a vibration, we're all vibrating, and they're all clumped together, and they make me. In the same way, the surface and so forth. When you start to realize and think more like that, when you start to realize that there's more to the surface, there's more than what you see. You see a piece of furniture, but this is actually a bunch of cells, or atoms, and smaller pieces that are making, I'm trying to keep it simple, if you know what I'm talking about, but that make this mass, this object. That way you won't have this weird aversion to the concept of negativity. I think sometimes people get confused about negativity. You can't have positive without negative, or vice versa. And pressure is not always a bad thing. Sometimes the universe applies pressure because there is something else going on. It's not the way that you're being tested. I don't believe in that. I don't like a spiritual system where I'm constantly feeling like I'm being tested by this deity, and if I pass the test, then I get to go to the special place or I get the special favor. I don't like that concept. That seems so petty, and I would like to believe that a higher power has no reason to be petty. Why? They have. If they're so powerful, why is that even necessary? So, I'm going to go on a tangent about that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull back. Let me pull back. All right, so let me move on. So, I think it's harmful because I don't think that you're really going to be expressing, I don't think that you're going to have a holistic approach to life if you're in this fake positivity movement. That's what I'm calling it. If you think just keeping a piece of crystal on you is the positive, and and somewhere having good vibes only is your way of blocking out negativity, yeah, no, that is harmful because you're not equipping yourself to handle life emotionally and mentally. You're not, because that's not how life works. I'm not saying crystals don't work, but there's more to it than that. And also, you can ask for positive energy, but positive energy to navigate negative situations. You ever think that? As opposed to just saying no negative vibes in my life. Sometimes you're going to go through things, and there's nothing, honestly, any of us really can to avoid that. That's necessary. So that's why I think it's so harmful. Emotionally, mentally, you're not prepared to handle things if you buy into this fake stuff. Um, okay, so if you take something from this video, ask yourself if you're guilty of this. You might not do it all the time. It might not be your overall view on positivity, but a lot of us, I know I probably did some things where it's like, that wasn't really authentic, and I really was being kind of selfish on my selfish, about what it means about negativity and positivity, especially when you're talking about people and it's like, oh, she's too negative, I don't want to deal with her. That sort of stuff. I've said things like that, oh, his energy is so negative, I just had to get away from it. Well, the reality of it is, sometimes your children are negative. What are you going to do, get away from them? Husbands, wives, they could, be negative. Um, People can express themselves just like you're allowed to, rather than maybe just kind of chalking it up to get away from them, good vibes only. Maybe there's something else going on, and maybe they need your help. Um, I don't know. I just think there's more nuance to it than just good vibes only. So make sure you're not guilty of fake positivity, and check yourself if you are. I know I have. Um, the other part is, and I kind of talked about this in the beginning, is I feel like this fake positivity movement kind of co-ops other cultures' spirituality. Um, Something that came to my mind, I'm not overly familiar about it, but if you've been on Instagram, you probably have heard of something called the Nap Ministry. And I like the stuff I read from them. I follow them. So I know that there are other groups who are kind of taking from that and trying to make it their own, um, as well. And I'm like, okay, so under the guise of positivity, you know what I mean? And, again, the fake positivity movement runs deep. I think that sometimes, people like to, like I said, take bits and pieces from what they want, to form fake, this fake movement, this fake ideal that's just never going to be possible. You're not going to be positive all the time. Your energy should not always be positive. Forgive the sounds. That's one of my many appliances. I'm a housewife. I'm a witch. I'm a lot of things. Stuff happen all at the same time. But anyway, I just feel like you need to understand. We all need to understand that you're not always being punished because things are bad, whatever you deem as bad or negative, I'll stick with that word, that you're having a negative experience. someone is talking to you in a way that makes you feel negative because that's the negative energy you feel that you're getting off of them. Um, it's not a punishment from the universe. It doesn't mean that you didn't have enough crystals on you. It doesn't mean you should go buy some new crystals. It's an experience, it's an encounter, it's a maybe reaction, and that's part of life. So, where I think the crystals, by the way, and all that stuff fit in is, and having your chakras aligned, let me get back to that part. I think where that fits in is, again, so that you can draw on positive energy to help balance you through this negative situation, because that would be balance. Because there's always, you can't have the positive without the negative, or the negative without the positive. So if you already got the negative, you can be the positivity. In the same way that sometimes you might not feel that great, and you might be down on yourself, your life, or whatever the situation is, and you might speak what is deemed negative. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody came to you with positive energy, not so much to just about making you feel good, but what it does is it kind of counters the stuff that you're talking about. Even though some of it's true and it's just how you feel, it gives a little bit more perspective and balance to your situation. Again, it's back to looking at things, looking a little bit beneath the surface. It's not just this solid thing here. There's something else going on as well, and it's opening your mind up a little bit more. And that's my issue with the fake positivity movement, whether it's in individuals expressing it, whether it's through some sort of, company, selling some candles or crystals or, like I said, whatever, under the guise of positivity, whether it's the fake yoga people, you know what I'm talking about. When I say fake, I mean they took pieces of what yoga is, pieces, and then added their little spin on it, and it's all about positivity, and just, and there's so much more to that. If you understand Ayurvedic lifestyle and the yoga and all that, that's a spiritual system. And I'm not saying that you can't try, but I'm saying if maybe I'm packaging it and I'm selling it to people who are trying to guide people into it, maybe I want to acknowledge the original roots a little bit more and maybe work from that before, I'm out here promoting something under the guise of it's positivity. If that's all I have on that. So yeah, that's where I stand on this. So with so much going in the world, a lot of people are going to tell you about being positive. You're going to see a lot of posts about it. You're going to see a lot of channels. You're going to see a lot of things, even in the media, like I said, in stores, where this fake positivity movement is really taking hold. A lot of people think it's the witchcraft community. It's like, oh, everybody wants to be a witch now. Pay attention. Look what they're marketing. A lot of it's all about positive energy. So I would just say make sure that you're not contributing to that. Be authentic. Change your mindset. Change your glasses. Change your view. It's not always the universe, spirit, the ancestors, especially the ancestors, trying to teach you a lesson and get to you. This is an experience that you're going to need to go through. Bring your positivity to help guide you through it for that sense of balance. That's all I'm saying. So again, I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Thank you so much again for watching. And please like, subscribe, share. If you've already subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.